Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week I just want to talk a little bit about being a parent and an artist and how difficult it can be to find time to make art, but it's not impossible. And I feel like sometimes it can be impossible though. So for instance, when my second daughter was born, I was doing pretty well with my art business. It was kind of gaining momentum and I was starting to sell things. But after she was born, I couldn't do it all. I didn't have enough sleep. I didn't get time to eat. You know, having a newborn is really tough. It probably wasn't until she was about 3 years old that I kind of started dabbling back with my art making. And I just want to tell people that's okay. If you're in that stage right now, it's perfectly okay to just be a parent and not try to make art at the same time. And don't beat yourself up about it. I know I was very hard on myself because I wanted to be able to do everything. And sometimes I still do. And I have to really rein my self-talk in so that I'm building myself up and not tearing myself down. And I just want to emphasize that. So if you are feeling stuck or sad because you're not able to be creative and work on your art, the time will pass and you can't get it back. So prioritizing your children and your babies, do it. Like, don't feel guilty. Don't feel inadequate. Don't feel like you're missing out on something. You're not. And all these opportunities that you feel like you're missing out on, they'll come again. You have time. You can do this later in life. It's not like a job that you can't, your body can't do because you're older. You can do this kind of work until you die. You can create until you die. It doesn't even have to be your job. It could just be something that you do for fun or to relax. And if you can't do it right now, it's okay. But when you start to get some time, I do have some tips on how to kind of put more creativity into your life. So when your kids are a little bit older and you're sleeping through the night and you're able to take care of your body and eat and all the things that you need to do to feel human, and you have a little bit of time when they're taking a nap or something, do a little painting or a little doodle drawing, or just make plans for later. Plan out colors you want to use or patterns you're interested in. It's all a process and you don't have to do it all at once. You can do little things for 15 minutes here and there when you have time. I did this a lot. Another thing that helps is find a spot somewhere in your house where you can set up your materials and leave them there. Like, don't clean it up. Your paints are out, your paintbrushes are there, you've got your paper, whatever it is. I hid out in my basement. I'm in my basement right now. And I have a big table here that I just keep everything ready to go. So when I have a few minutes and I can come down here and do some work, I do it. And I don't have to waste time setting things up or getting things organized or worrying about any of that. I just think that creativity is part of being human and it's really important. So you have to make time for it, just like we make time for exercise or eating healthy. You know, we go to work, we have priorities, right? Being creative should be one of those things. It can be a spiritual practice for some people. It can be a stress reliever. It can be a way to build your self-esteem. So if you start off drawing stick figures and eventually you can draw your cat like pretty realistically over time because you've practiced, you're gonna feel really good about that. And also, like, if you can draw a really, really good stick figure, that's pretty cool too. Like, look at how many comics are basically stick figures. You don't have to be like, you know, the best drawer in the world to make something creative and feel good about it and enjoy the process. I'm really big on enjoying the process. That's probably the most important thing to me. So I just wanted to share some of these thoughts with you, and especially to some of the parents or moms that are in the weeds right now with their kids and just really want an outlet to bring themselves back to who they are. Don't give up. Like, just do the smallest thing and it'll be worth it, I promise. As your kids start to get older and more independent, I would say probably like 3 or 4, somewhere in there, you can start doing more art with your kids. Now, you're not going to be probably creating masterpieces or pieces of art that you're going to want to sell or anything like that. This is about just being creative. So make art with your kids and buy canvases like fairly large size and have your whole family paint on it. Don't worry about it being perfect. You'll be shocked at how good it can come out. Like, we have a giant painting in our house that my daughter painted when she was probably 4, and she was literally just pouring paint and it was dripping down the entire canvas. It came out so cool. It's just a big abstract art. We've had people come to our house and do the whole and stare at it and ask me about what it means, and I'm like, oh, I didn't paint this. This is my daughter painted this when she was 4. What color is it?
It's teal.
You're making teal?
Yes.
Oh, let's not do that, because now we're gonna have paint all over everywhere and my clothes, and well, you got some nice splatters though. Look at that on your painting. I do like your splatters. Whoa, look at your paint palette. What happened? Is that what happened? Another thing is make art with your kids and their friends. We homeschooled for several years and had a pretty good homeschool community, and we did a lot of art projects with those kids, and it was so cool. Again, not something like I could sell or do anything, but it did give me experience teaching a group of children how to do some art, and that experience is going to help me later when I want to make art classes, which I did do for kids, online or in person. So there's different things that you can do while you're parenting that will help you later on, so you're not feeling like you're not getting anywhere, you know, moving forward in your career. So another great idea too is to keep an art journal and make sure it's like small. You don't want anything too big, something that you can carry around easily with a couple of paint markers or a pen or crayons, whatever you have hanging around your house that's easy to get a hold of, and use that to write down some ideas or do a little sketch or color, you know, with your kids while you're waiting in the doctor's office. And sometimes you find like cool color combinations, or you come up with like a weird shape and you're like, I think I might want to use that in something later. So you're still being creative. You're just not maybe making like these big paintings or things that you used to do or things that you would like to do yet. But we're looking for progress, not perfection, right? Like, we want to just keep being creative. And I think this applies to everybody, not just people who want to be an artist as their job. But when you're a parent, you really get bogged down in parenting. Everything's about your kids for so long, and you don't really have an outlet for your own self-expression. You can kind of lose who you are as a person, or feel like you're like disconnected from yourself. And, you know, a lot of these little things that you can do can kind of help you like remember, like, I am a creative person. I like to make things. I'm an artist. I'm still good at this. Like, I haven't lost all my skills. Another thing I did as a parent, well, I still do as a parent, is I utilize my iPhone or my, you know, your camera, whatever, your phone, whatever kind of phone you have. When I'm out at the park with my kids, I take pictures of things, like pictures of leaves. Like in the fall, there were these leaves on the ground with different shades of yellow and green. or orange, or, you know, wherever you live, you're gonna have a different variety. And I would take pictures of those color combinations and think about how I wanted to use those later in a painting. So you can do that too. Like, that's a creative outlet. Take more photos. Use the time that you're like playing hide and go seek at the park and snap some pictures from nature that have really good color combinations. Or just shapes that you see in nature. I've taken so many pictures of wildflowers, weeds, like we're in New Mexico, so we've got a lot of interesting grasses that have, you know, the little seeds coming off, anything like tree bark. I've taken pictures of tree bark for the texture. And you can kind of just create a little folder on your phone, like an album or whatever, that has these inspiring photographs that you've taken, and you can use that later to create something bigger and more meaningful to you.